Festivalul Internațional de Film de la Cannes este considerat atât de oamenii din industria cinematografiei, cât și de majoritatea criticilor de film, cel mai important eveniment cinematografic nu doar la nivel european, ba chiar la nivel global. O premieră mondială în selecția oficială a Festivalului de la Cannes asigură deopotrivă expunerea mediatică gratuită în cele mai importante publicații din lume și un număr semnificativ de contracte de distribuție pentru producătorii filmelor selecționate. Asta în timp ce un premiu important la Cannes înseamnă de cele mai multe ori un candidat redutabil pe lista scurtă a nominalizărilor pentru premiile Oscar.
The world is a much more dangerous place now that pain has all but disappeared.
Anul acesta, autori de cinema de prim rang precum David Cronenberg, frații Dardenne, Claire Denis, Lucas Dont sau Cristian Mungiu reprezintă doar o parte dintre cei 21 de cineaști care au concurat pentru cele mai râvnite premii în Franța. Palme d'Orul, marele premiu al festivalului, a fost acordat însă unei satire spumoase despre ipocrizie, lăcomie și putere, Triunghiul Tristeții, de la regizorul Ruben Östlund.
You looks paid for the tickets. Not bad, huh?
So what do you do?
I sell shit.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful screening. Really? Thank you so much. And it's so nice to be back in Cannes. I love Cannes. It's the 5th time we're here. It's fantastic to be here. Thank you so much, Terry.
Was your intention from the beginning to keep the tone of the previous films that you premiered in Cannes, Force Majeure, The Square?
Maybe the satirical element comes in because it's that I'm commenting on contemporary things that is going on in our world, commenting on politics, commenting on like this social media madness. What I like about it though is the satire is that it has a tradition of trying to comment on society problems, trying to lift questions about what we see in our society and provoke thoughts about that. So I don't really have anything against it when people call my films satires, but actually I consider them not 100% satires.
So, is this runway casting for a grumpy brand or a smiley brand?
So it's a grumpy brand, yeah?
Congratulations! Show me that Balenciaga look. Suddenly I'm dressed in something way less expensive. It's H&M! Yay! Balenciaga! And H&M! Balenciaga! And H&M!
Triangle of Sadness este primul film al lui Ruben Östlund integral în limba engleză, care și-a găsit inspirația atât din experiențele personale ale regizorului, cum este campania de fashion pe care acesta a realizat-o pentru un brand cunoscut, precum și din poveștile din lumea modei împărtășite de partenera sa de viață.
When did the idea of Triangle of Sadness first appear in your mind?
The whole thing started with that I met my wife actually. It was 8 years ago and she is a fashion photographer. And I got very curious about to hear stories from inside of the fashion world. She started to tell me a lot about male models. And I thought it was interesting that male models is one of the few professions where men actually earn less than women. They earn like 1/4 or 1/3 of what the female models are earning. And I thought it was interesting to look at beauty as a currency. And that beauty can be something that can make you climb in class society. So even if you don't have any like talent, beauty is one of the few aspects that can push you up in class society quite quickly. It's a materialistic way of looking at the world. You know, Marx, he created sociology and behavioristic theories and so on. And he also introduced to look on the materialistic setup of things in order to understand our behavior.
Titlul filmului își are rădăcinile tot în industria modei, expresia Triunghiul Tristeții referindu-se la ridurile de expresie dintre sprâncene care apar ca rezultat al greutăților întâlnite în viața unei persoane în urma încruntării repetate pentru o perioadă îndelungată de timp.
The success of a luxury cruise mainly depends on you. I don't want to hear anybody saying no. It's always, yes sir, yes ma'am.
I command you, enjoy the moment.
No.
No?
No.
What? You say no to me?
No, no.
So it's yes?
Yeah, no.
Yes?
Oh yeah.
Yes!
O poveste modernă, cu modele, influenceri, miliardari, iubitori de șampanie, jacuzzi și de cealaltă parte cu stafful lor de ajutoare. Interpretați excepțional de Woody Harrelson, Harris Dickinson, Charlbi Dean și Zlatko Burić. Ceea ce la început pare decorul ideal pentru un set de fotografii pentru Instagram se transformă relativ repede într-un spectacol grotesc. Pe măsură ce Carl și Yaya, un cuplu de manechine care activează ca influenceri, sunt invitați într-o croazieră de lux pentru miliardari de moralitate îndoielnică.
A Russian capitalist and an American communist.
On a $250 million luxury yacht.
Printre ei, un oligarh rus, un traficant de arme britanic și un capitan de navă alcoolic cu convingeri marxiste.
The ship is going under.
I was reading some reviews and some people are saying that this has less subtlety than force majeure, for example. Did you want to make a very in-your-face type of film, more maybe for a wider audience?
I never had an idea about the way I direct the film to reach a wider audience, but I really was tired of European art house cinema. I think that European art house cinema have almost got stuck on a little track that it's about the posing that you're dealing with important questions. And my heroes are directors that is entertaining at the same time they are dealing with an important content. And there's no, how to say, contradiction for me to be clear, to say straight out what I want, and at the same time trying to pose new intellectual thoughts in between. I want to be free as a director, and I actually have had as a goal to put myself maybe in between the American tradition. They are so much better in reaching the audience. They punch the whole way and reach the audience. And they have to do that because they are competing on a commercial market. So sometimes I feel that European cinema is not actually reaching the audience. So I wanted to punch the whole way through, and I wanted to make a wild, entertaining film that really is fun to watch together with other people. A movie that I would like to watch myself.
The sails. Do you think it's possible to wash them?
I don't think that's possible, ma'am, because this is a motorized vessel.
Yeah.
So we don't have any sails.
It was sails. Yes.
Well then, in that case, we will clean the sails.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
In Triangle of Sadness, you're using a lot of English for the dialogues. Is one of your future plans to reach maybe American market with your films?
Now we have a collaboration with Neon that is going to try to push the film as much as possible. Of course, that's in my interest. I think that what have been important to me is to like actually combine the kind of European tradition with American tradition. So it would be great if the film works on both continents, of course.
As a European filmmaker, did you feel maybe in the beginning of your career the pressure of getting accolades in huge festivals in order for the film to be seen?
The festivals is a great way of getting attention to your film, and if you're dealing with something that is not like the box office commercial films that is like packaging it in with comics books and stuff like that, I think that that is another possible path to walk. And after my first film, that was like not seen by many people in Sweden, then I actually had to start to be a little bit brave and say, okay, my next film is going to have the premiere in Cannes, in order to push the people that are handing out the money to give me money. It was a risk for them if they would have said no. And then when we were accepted in Cannes, then you also get, how to say, legitimized in your home country.
Going back to Triangle of Sadness, because I'm curious to find out from a 2 times winner of Palme d'Or, what were the most challenging obstacles that you had to overcome in the shooting? Are you still nervous maybe sometimes? How do you overcome stressful, hard times on set, or maybe in working with actors?
I think it's shooting is still a very stressful period, and the bigger the production is, the more expensive every shooting day is, and the more scared you get that if I don't manage to get this today, we'll have a problem of finding another shooting day for the scene that you're working on. I don't think I ever will get 100% used to that stress. And that stress is maybe also good in some way, because it keeps you on your toes and you're very focused when you're on set. But for me it has been very important when we are producing the films that I have a lot of shooting days, because time on set reduces the stress and makes it possible for us to investigate the scenes and really trying to tweak the scene in a way that makes it pop over our expectations. You always want to, how do you say, outdo your expectations. When you have a shooting day and you actually come home with better material than you could have thought of, then you're a happy director.
Can I ask how many days did you have on for the last one?
I think we had 65 days on Triangle of Sadness. In total, yeah. And 65 days is maybe on the edge of being too little when you're shooting in 3 different environments like we did, because every environment you start to shoot in, you have to get to know and you have to understand how are we going to work in this environment. So maybe I would like to have a couple of more days, but I mean, it went well.
Do you already know what your next project will be about?
I love to tell you about it. It's called The Entertainment System is Down, and it takes place on a long-haul flight. So quite soon after takeoff, the crew is announcing to the guest, unfortunately the entertainment system is down. So we have this modern human being trapped in this little experimental social lab for me, and they have to deal with no distraction and their own thoughts. Life is a comedy, you know, it's there's so much that is comical if you look at it and you put it into a context. And but at the same time, I always love to have a film that can go from either side, that it can move quickly from being very comical to be horrible, or that you don't know really how to relate to it.